Okay, I see my big giant head showing up in the stream, but for some reason the stream's buffering. I am not dropping frames. So I wonder what is up with that. There we go. That looks a little more stable, as far as I can tell. Okay, I think we're ready to get underway. Welcome to Adventures After Dark. I am your host, Big Ed Mustafa, and tonight we are going to be playing along with Little Ed Mustafa. He's a burglar. He's level 83. He's a hobbit, and he is in the eastern wall section of Rohan. So I have finished up all of Dunland and all of the Great River, including a bunch of the Slayer deeds, I'm happy to say. I think I still need to do a little bit of Limelight Gorge, but we'll tackle that another time. Anyway, we're ready to move further into Rohan. I think I'm through most of the Wold, and I was given the choice of the Norcrofts or the East Wall. And the epic story actually starts in the East Wall, so I thought I would come over here and hang out. Singer, how you doing? Buddha? I do kind of resemble the Buddha. That's losing the beard doesn't help. It shows all of my chins, so that's kind of problematic. You are trash. Thanks, Advisor. That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate it. Anyhow, let's see what we've got going on tonight. I've started dabbling around here a bit in the East Wall and lined up some quests, but one of the things that I thought would be fun to start with tonight is Boromir's instance. So we will get underway. This session play has some particularly amusing dialogue in it. Bro, you're way better than me.
Something happened to our mutual friends. The signs of it are everywhere.
Tarzan King's not sure why he's watching since it's 3 a.m. Well, you know, it's not like there's anything good on TV at 3 a.m., so you might as well hang out and watch the LOTRO stream. Hi, Telerian. Telerian's probably just waking up. It's early where you're at. Now here's what's funny. Boromir's perspective. It's the elf, the dwarf, Frodo's servant, that halfling, the other halfling. Boromir doesn't have a deep affection for most of the rest of his party. He likes Aragorn just fine. Well, Zenvisor, it was nice of you to say that, so no problem. We're all good. Anyhow, I have a wife, so I'm used to getting insulted frequently. Find Frodo and convince him to bring the ring to Minas Tirith. He wandered somewhere to the northwest. Off we go. I have found Frodo, but he has not yet seen me. Tell him of Minas Tirith's great need. He is not listening. Elves and wizards have already filled his head with nonsense. Ask to borrow the ring so you can save Gondor. Seize the ring from Frodo. Oops. Is he in this leaf pile? He is not. Pox on all hobbits, where is this creature? Is he in the hollow log? He's not. I'm playing on the Brandywine server tonight. Little Ed Mustafa is an officer in the 40 Thieves kinship. We actually have an all-burglar kinship here, and I think we've got about 75 members right now. So we've exceeded our initial goal of 40 Thieves, we're excited to say. Does Boromir fish? Boromir does not even have a fishing rod. Had Boromir equipped a fishing rod, he may have survived the orcs' attack. Where else are we supposed to look for the hobbits? Is he in the bush? Oh, I have a minstrel on Landreville, 41st level. I'm trying to get a character leveled up over there so I can run around with some other friends. But I play on Arkenstone, Crick Hollow, and Brandywine most commonly. I do have characters on Gladden and Landreville and Evernight. So I get around quite a bit. You never know which server I'm going to be streaming from. I kind of just wait and see what kind of mood I'm in. I have to say, since I started this burglar and we started the kinship, I've been having a lot of fun playing a burglar. Boromir, what have you done? I pimp slapped that little hobbit for not giving me his ring is what I did. We must divide into pairs and carefully wait. No, come back. So it's all chaos here along the east wall. Deathman, howdy! Yeah, we were giving all up a little bit of grief about not being on Brandywine for a while, and he got a little snippy with me and Zinger. It was mostly amusing. I think he wanted to get food. We'll just chalk it up to low blood sugar or something. And tracks in the dirt. Great number of running feet pass this way. Picking pockets is fun. And using coup de grace to say hello to an Uruk warrior is also very fun. If you're backing away, they're just trying to get a shot off at you, and then they just drop dead. It's pretty awesome. He did not make it. It was a valiant effort trying to stop me. Just couldn't quite get it done. Wanted to give a shout out to all of our friends at LOTRO Players Academy today. They put up a new podcast for the first time in a few weeks. Apparently Brannick got moved and got his computer set back up, which is good news. You can find their podcast at LOTROplayers.com, along with LOTRO Players News, which is a different but equally wonderful podcast. Academy is particularly aimed at new to intermediate players. LOTRO Players News is sort of general news for all players, and it's good to have those guys back in podcasting. So congratulations to everybody at LOTRO Players Academy. Well, that's what I was afraid of. I got one quest pointing me this way, and another quest pointing me up the hill. Remember, anytime you find yourself in Middle-earth, Pang, how the heck are you? Good to see you, my friend. Hope everything's going well for you tonight. Anyways, prattling on about something. Oh yeah, anytime you're in Middle-earth and you find yourself killing orcs, you're doing the right thing. Don't ever second guess that. I have successfully burgled. Oh, that's for collecting the purse of gold coins. Okay, we're going to go back up the other hill. I think I have to go quite a ways away to collect the purse of gold coins. I'm doing good. Had a good day today. Work was pretty smooth, and just having a good week. So, I also wanted to give a shout out to somebody that I believe is a new LOTRO streamer. That would be the Tawny Owl. I caught the Tawny Owl streaming LOTRO while I was at work today, and gave them a host and a follow, and they were kind enough to return the favor. So let's get a shout out for the Tawny Owl. So if you get a chance to check out the Tawny Owl stream sometime, you can tell them Big Ed sent you, say howdy. We always like to encourage new streamers, because streaming LOTRO is the best way to market LOTRO. People are sometimes surprised to see us here on Twitch playing the game, and that it's actually doing well. And Olip Enya himself is in the house. Good to see you, man. I have come to the tree-clad slopes of Aman Hin, which I guess is a good thing. We'll go up these stairs. Free Walnettos? I wish I could get a line on free Walnettos. These are the tastiest little caramels. I don't know if you guys can see those very well. The Diamond Nut Company makes these. It's a brown sugar caramel with pieces of walnut in them. And I have to pay 25 cents a pop at the candy store for them, but they're well worth it. They are subtly delicious. Not cloyingly sweet like a lot of caramels on the market. A little more subdued, but very, very yummy. I'm trying to tempt Maiden of Rohan into exchanging some moon cheese with me for some Walnettos. She said she was interested, but I haven't heard from her this week, so that's okay. I failed to burgle, so out of frustration I executed him mercilessly. Just seemed like the right thing to do.
What is up?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, and yourself?
I'm doing great, and I see Evil Twin is in the house. Evil Twin and Olip Enya are fellow LOTRO stream team members. So if you guys aren't already following them, shame on you. And our good friend Zinger has just popped into Discord. If you know my Discord chat, you're welcome to hop in and chat as well. If you don't know my Discord chat, you can just go over to my personal stream and type !Discord, and it should spit out the information for you. And I'll give myself a shout out here. Streamer is Big Ed Mustafa. So there is my Twitch channel for my personal channel. Oak branches. I know you guys are all anxious for it, so we'll go ahead and get it out of the way so you don't have to wait all night. We'll do some stealth fishing. Actually, this is pretty interesting. I didn't realize this, but you cannot fish while in stealth. It'll just say you're too busy to do that right now. So you actually have to break stealth to fish. Who knew?
Did you just flash your walnuts on stream?
My walnetto.
Walnutto.
I should have eaten it, but I keep one walnetto on the computer desk just so I can show it off. I would go so far as to say that walnettos might be the Coke Zero of caramels. But unlike Coke Zero, it's free of caffeine. And hi, Elder James, welcome. I almost missed a fish. Chromite, howdy. Fish up the turtle envelopes from Western Gondor anymore. And JC Caroline, thank you for the follow. Glad to have you with us tonight. Oh, this is good fishing. I got a sturgeon, which is required for the sturgeon master deed, and I pulled a delicious largemouth bass, which I'll look forward to having Alla Baba cook up for me. Maybe with some little carrots and potatoes. Let's see what we get here.
Keep on dreaming.
Absolutely. Oh, another sturgeon. This is good fishing. All right. I don't want to give you guys too much of a good thing, so we're going to go back to questing. We'll re-equip the negotiator there.
I already took a nap. You don't need to give me another one there.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're well rested. I think all the excitement of me streaming has Mrs. Mustafa already knocked out.
Hey, Gussie.
Gussie Moose, Pang, Chromite. Boy, everybody's pouring in tonight. It's great to see everybody. There wasn't a mistype on the LOTRO stream channel. You guys knew it was going to be me here tonight. You didn't show up by accident, did you? Burglars have very good crowd control.
So, but pretty boring day today. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm coming from Final Fantasy XIV, which is a lot. Well, my buddy does not think of playing long, and I don't really identify with Final Fantasy XIV's community. Are there any noob-friendly kin in this that are looking for people? Yeah, there's all kinds of noob-friendly kins. I even hesitate to start throwing out names. If you're a burglar, the 40 Thieves would be happy to have you. You just have to be able to fog a mirror. Zinger, start naming off great kins all across Middle-earth. Anybody else wants to give their kin a shout-out? So you can give OP91 some suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kins on all servers. What server are you rolling up there on the OP? It's hard to give kin suggestions without knowing the server. Well, if you're playing on Arkenstone, and if you're looking for a kin, Bloodborne, another streamer on Twitch, has a kin, Dubakar. He welcomes any members. It doesn't matter if you're a raider or a casual player or anything. Just a good place for good people.
Yeah, I mean, LOTRO's a little bit unique in that, I mean, everybody's happy to help out new players, and there's really no lockout. It's not like you have to be a certain level or a certain anything to join most kins. The player community in general is very friendly. Except for me, I'm kind of a jerk, but everybody else seems really nice.
I'm a jerk.
I
Good movie,
took
good
a,
movie.
I took a wrong turn somewhere. Nope, I gotta find the stairs up from here. There they are. Like, why can't I get to the top of this pile of rubble? Ta-da! You see distant fires and camps of the orcs on Amon La. A great force gathers there. Well, thank heaven I could look around without breaking stealth. Oh, I need to go back to Dead Orc Glade. Anyway, yeah, I did want to get back to a fishing question that got asked earlier. Too far? Where are we at here? Hi, Ski. Good to see you with us tonight. There it is. Genny asked, do you have to be of high fishing skill to get those fish where you are? It's a combination of location and fishing skill. Sturgeon aren't necessarily tough to catch once you get to, let's say Aragian or Enidwaith, but you have to have a fishing skill to catch them as well. So as long as you are, I don't know, maybe 100 to 120 fishing skill, you should be able to pull out sturgeon in areas that'll have them. I mean, I need the Orc Slayer deed, so I don't know why I'm sneaking past all the orcs, but I certainly don't have to get it right here, right now. Watching me burgle slay a bunch of orcs is pretty cool, but we'll have plenty more orcs to kill, so we'll get down off of that hill for now.
Looks like OP asked, does crafting in LOTRO matter in the long run? I guess it depends on what your craft is. Like, particularly if you're crafting something that are consumable items, they're always going to be beneficial in the long run.
Yeah, if you wanted a crafting vocation that's always relevant, I would have to say Scholar is a good way to go. I really like using a lot of the Scholar stuff on all of my characters. They can make attack and defense scrolls that any character can use. They can farm. They can craft weapons. No, Scholars farm. That's the three things they do, right? Weapon crafting, farming, and then Scholar stuff. But
yes.
all of the Scholar stuff, it's lots of consumables that are always useful at every level. And no matter how the game has changed or evolved, I can't remember a time where the Scholar stuff wasn't useful to some degree or another. Some of the other crafting vocations, my 105th level champion is a tinkerer who's primarily a jewelry maker. And like one of the problems with the epic battles and the essence jewelry, it's kind of made jewelry crafting almost irrelevant in game. So it's not something that's really stood up. The hope is that eventually Standing Stone Games we'll go back and enhance crafting again and make it a little more useful at level cap.
That's 12 lashings for you there.
At least that's okay. Won't be the last time I do that either, I'm sure. I've been doing pretty good about that too.
I'm still bad on remembering the points, so yeah.
In my opinion, the least useful skill is woodcrafting. It's mildly amusing early on, and then the more I leveled up, the more pointless it kind of seemed. If anybody has a differing opinion, please feel free to sound off about that. But at least with armor crafting, you can get metalsmithing and tailoring on the same character, and that stays relatively useful. I do not find my woodcrafters doing a whole lot of crafting.
And yeomen are pretty useful, and they're fairly easy to level. I guess as long as you have some money in your wallet to keep on buying the farming things to cook more and.
A sweet 100 first stage crossbow. I did that as well on my hunter. My hunter has a pretty sweet first stage crossbow. I think she did make it too. But even with the legendary weapons crafting system, I think Galandriel, my champion, got her new sword, and well, at least her first stage sword came from just turning in rewards from roving threats. You don't really have to craft or even farm the items you need to make that stuff anymore. Dead orc blade.
So your question is, what's the biggest plus for having a subscription? I had one briefly, and kind of for me it was making as many characters as I could and unlocking the trade slots and unlocking like swift travels and stuff like that. So even if you were just VIP for 1 month, it'll unlock all sorts of goodies that will be permanently unlocked on your account as long as you make new characters.
Yeah, there's lots of small benefits to subscribing. It just kind of, there's a lot of convenience built in. Swift travel is unlocked. You can get your mail and send mail from anywhere on the landscape. That doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but trust me, when you're out in the wilds like I am and you got a pack full of crap and you wish you could mail some of it off, going to find the nearest mailbox can sometimes be inconvenient. What do we got down here? Apparently I just need to murder a bunch of orcs, which I'm usually down for, so we'll make that a thing. Safe fall for the win.
I did get my bird to 100, and I ended up I think it's the first time that I've ever imbued a dagger or imbued like a weapon that wasn't like a first stage weapon. I just had a third age that had pretty decent legacy, so I'm like, yeah, I'll imbue it, just use it for now.
Close enough. I failed to burgle. I'm deeply ashamed. We're still looking for a great number of running feet.
So did you catch the article on Massively that was they had an interview with some of the Standing Stone peeps, and they were talking about Looks like a new race is coming through, the High Elves.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like totally confirmed that it's a thing or if it's a possibility, but it sounds like I assume with Mordor um, that yeah, that apparently something about a new playable race.
I had not seen that. I was just on there the other day looking at some old articles. He still wants the orc that stole his gold. Oh, more instance play. Let's see what else is going on here. Or session play, I should say. Thank you for chat, for answering questions, by the way. It's part of the fun of hanging out here at LOTRO Stream. There's always lots of knowledgeable players who are happy to help. And one of the benefits of streaming, I have viewers who actually help me get through stuff on occasion.
Yeah, so Severlin, when they asked, are there any new features or classes planned for, yada yada, and Severlin said, for Lotro's border expansion, we are looking at the High Elf as a new playable race. We are adding a system that allows players to pledge their sword to men, elves, dwarves, or hobbits in the battle against Mordor.
That is very cool.
And also, the new Bullroar update is on Bullroar now, and there's some cool new things like further added customability of the hook system in your housing that you can kind of move things around. I think I saw Chromite was sharing some screenshots on Steam's Discord, someone's Discord, and it was showing like being able to kind of piece together different decorations in different ways. So it looks like they're they're playing around with new things that seem like it might have been impossible in the past. Hey, Tally.
Hi, Tellurian. I think it's going to be a pretty exciting year for Lord of the Rings Online.
Hey, I posted the article. No.
Still no official word about sharks with laser beams on their heads, though.
No official
I'm sure that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sure the sharks will come with the scouring of the Shire. I mean, that's just in the lore, you know.
Be nice if this instance place counted towards my Slayer deed. No such luck. That's funny. Deathman says the professor talked about that and said it would be difficult to justify because there were only a few high elves left in Middle-earth, maybe 50 or so. Well, I think there was only one Bjorning left, but they made that a player class. And this, boys and girls, is how Dead Orc Glade got its name. Let's stand around and wait for more orcs. You need aid. You must blow the horn of Gondor. But I'm okay. Do I fail the session play because I survived?
So far.
All right.
It's one of your skills, by the way.
I know. Well, I knew where the horn was. I was just waiting for the next wave of orcs. Oh, here we go. Has Pang Bjorn been going above and beyond the call of duty to help the Bjornings repopulate their Pang? Boromir had just brought a fishing pole. He would have had enough trail food to get through this fight unscathed.
Make Sean being proud, man.
High elves as playable race. And it's no goes full.
I thought the elves only had medical marijuana, but if high elves are going to be playable, I guess it's going to be legal everywhere.
If the elves would be high. Well, we have a pipe weed.
Yeah, there's already a lot of pipeweed in Middle Earth. So that was Boromir having a very bad day.
"'Tis but a flesh wound."
Oh, no kidding. The bears or the dwarves traded with Bjornings regularly. I did not remember that. Is it the Hobbit where there's just the one lone Bjorning that they run into and they stay in his house overnight?
And then they ate baby bear's porridge and stuff like that. I remember that one.
Yeah, that was a sad story. Burglars get a bonus for what they call positional damage, where you do a lot more damage from behind your opponent than from in front of your opponent. It's a good thing. Thank you for clearing that up, Misfits X138X. I appreciate the information.
Don't forget the Hobbit champion.
Hobbit champions will be a good thing.
We could have Hobbit lore masters and they could like ride on their own bear pets.
There are Hobbit lawmasters, but they won't come out of the cave because they are smoking all day.
Very true.
Orcs and insects, insects and orcs.
Now this is a tricky cave system. You have to watch where you're going because it's really easy to walk off a ledge and into the water. Moria orcs. Well, Zinger, did they mention anything about dwarf burglars in the article? Hobbit champions?
I didn't see it mentioned, but maybe they were stealth. You know. they're usually, trying to remain stealth, but constantly yelling, Baruch Gazad! It's not a good match.
It can be challenging.
Unless they time it so they only say it when they're popping out of stealth.
Grodbog.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because it seems like they've been doing a couple of interviews with a couple of, the media outlets lately. So, it's cool getting little, tidbits here and there.
Well, that's one of the advantages of kind of going off on their own. They don't have to run stuff past, corporate talking heads and get approval from 3 different layers of management for everything. They can just kind of go out and do their thing and maybe be a little more accessible and get the game out there in the public eye a little more. And
Yep. But basically, there's still some legal things they can't talk about, in terms of the transitioning, and like they can't talk about, Asheron's Call because it's not their project. It's one of those things that they're just not going to talk about. It's not, they don't have to worry about it, and they'd rather not talk about it. So
I was pleasantly surprised at seeing all of the outpouring and the conversation about Asheron's Call. It's nice to know that game wasn't forgotten about. At least not by the players, it was by the developers. But even Marshawn Lynch retires, you have to get past it and move on. That's a sports ball reference there, Zinger.
I know.
Okay. Yep, did I walk past someplace I need to go? Yep, there's the ramp.
I appreciate the heads up, though.
No
Yeah,
problem.
I was about ready to take a little nap there, but we got off. You said it. We got through it. I'm fine.
Fantastic. Large orc presence. Wonder if that's like Hobbit presence.
And it sounds like, in terms of their new offices, they basically split the current office that they had in half, and they basically just went with that, so they didn't really have to move much at all. They just, throw up some drywall and you're good.
Well, that's good. Sounds like everything's been done very amicably, so that's good to hear.
It sounds like Daybreak won't have too much of a, involvement in their daily life. They're talking about, maybe they can use some of Daybreak's technology when it comes to the publishing side, and, if they have something, maybe involved with like the launcher or something like that, something that they can use, that, they're welcome to use. But other than that, they're not going to be like, stepping into their office on a daily basis and going, nah, I can't do that. They just get to work on the game that they love. And they did say that basically all the members of the LOTRO team developers and the DDO developers were able to make the move, to Standing Stones. So they didn't lose, team members between the transition.
That is good to hear. I'm still waiting for Turbine to come out with their killer mobile phone app that we're all going to want to play.
Hey, Half Pint.
Half Pint, welcome, welcome.
And no, they have not released any kind of release date for Mordor. Update 20, which isn't Mordor, I think they said tentatively in March. So, you know, just have moved on from there. We shall see what happens.
Misfits, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you helping us catch up on lore. Yeah, no, update 20 is right around the corner, and I'm trying to remember where I heard it, but I thought I'd heard Cordovan hinting that we might get Mordor sooner than later.
Yeah, I don't know the schedule. I just, like, I think they said something about, you know, some Black Gate content, some, you know, a bit of Epic in update 20. So kind of you know, leading up into Mordor eventually.
Was it update 19.3 is scheduled for early February? And the next one, update 20, will be March, something like that?
Yeah, that sounds right.
And
Right.
update 20 will include...
I failed to burgle.
Sorry, what did you say? Update 20 will include?
will cover Dagolat.
Okay.
The region near the Black Gate.
Uh-huh.
And will include some fighting at Black Gate.
Sounds fun.
I just pray there's more flower picking to be had. I can't get enough of that.
Maybe.
Yeah, and the next update, they're making I believe they're making the vials account wide, so woohoo. I would guess they're probably, you know, releasing some more goodies too to buy with it in the next update. Yeah, I haven't done much, so I can't say much about it.
Somewhere there's an orc that has a coin purse on him I need to find. I don't know if I just should keep randomly butchering orcs. Again,
No,
never a
there's
bad
a
option.
Looking for a signature dude.
A named orc.
Yeah. He should be kind of patrolling the path not too far from where you picked up the quest, I believe.
Oh, I was supposed to defeat orcs on a Mon Hen. I snuck past all of them instead. It probably was a bad move on my part.
It's pretty cool when they added bar in Norian, I think. They connected that to the east wall. So there's like a little pathway near Amon Hen, and if you take the pathway, you'll end up in Bar in Norian.
Yeah, I've actually cut through that way before. I don't think it was with little Ed, because he would probably be instantly maimed and killed if he went into Eastern Gondor right now, much less Old Anorian.
Yeah. When you're doing like the Far Northern or Old North, whatever, the Druidan area, you'll probably come across it because when you're up in that swamp area, like in the last section, you kind of go right by the port to Eastwar.
I have successfully burgled. Fear me.
Oh, I think we all do. Don't worry about that.
Oh, Gidrian is an AC player. You failed the easiest task in the game, making dough. You failed to make dough. Inconceivable. Yeah, you have a pretty low cooking skill to fail that.
It is as I feared then. There are more orcs on Amon Law. I have a request. I want to see the Argonaut.
Oh, more session play. They've already added a wonderful new hobby to the game called Hobnanigans, and you all need to be playing it competitively.
Those footprints are hobbit-sized.
Until you come to appreciate Hobnanigans in all of its gloriousness, they will not develop another hobby.
Shucky darns.
I hope everybody out there is enjoying a nice, delicious cold Coke Zero. I know I'm enjoying mine. If you have another beverage of choice that's your favorite, more power to me. That just leaves me more Coke Zero.
Right now I'm going with the classic crisp, refreshing 7-Up.
Crisp and clean and no caffeine. Never had it, never will. Ah. Use your hobbit sense to learn where Frodo has gone. Use hobbit sense.
That session play where you just have one skill. Your only job was that one, and you failed.
You only had one job. One of the boats is missing.
Like the session play where you're playing as Grima, and you have the Citadel skill or whatever it is that you never use.
Anyway, this is one of the scenes in the movie where Frodo and Sam express their love for one another, and they make love in the boat as they sail downriver.
Oh, I didn't watch that edition.
They had to get the special extended release version. It was one of the outtakes.
They had to CGI in certain editions.
Coke Classic used to be my drink of choice, Misfits. I did change it up after a few years. I drank a lot of Coca-Cola Classic throughout my years. If you have to drink unleaded, though, Coke Zero is definitely the bomb diggity. I have to go back up to Amonhen and murder a bunch of orcs that I let live before. Like I said, always murder orcs. It's always the right thing to do.
Unless you're an orc yourself.
Even then, if you yourself are an orc, it will only lead to promotion. Sauron and Saruman will thank you for culling the weak from their ranks.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Exactly. I know Gussie Moose always appreciates good suggestions for how to roast a dwarf. It's one of her favorite chat topics. I have successfully burgled. Got a pretty nice high burgle rate tonight, but I think it's because most everything I'm fighting is green. Yeah, Ski, I had a friend tell me that, or I had a couple of friends who were like, oh, I cut out soda, I feel so much better. So I did it for a month, just drank water and iced tea, didn't make a darn bit of difference. I felt just the same. not saying you shouldn't try it. You might get different results than me. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, wow, playing a burglar looks easy. You guys have to remember that I am particularly kick-ass and that you probably won't be up to my level of play right away.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Ed.
Thank you for agreeing, Zinger.
Now, when do I get paid?
Checks in the mail.
Get exactly what's in the code. 0.
And by check, I mean Walnettos.
He's going to send me some code 0 cap codes.
No way, I need those.
Yeah, because you don't have like dozens of extras just waiting to punch in.
I know you defeated orcs on Arm and Hand.
Now, if they allowed those to be used on Battlefield 1, Olive would be the best friend forever.
Imprisoned?
Olip's already my best friend forever. He likes the fact that I'm honest with him. It's my frank honesty that has won him over.
Yes, that.
See, Olip even says so. Really, if you get completely off of caffeine, though, are you really living? I'm just saying, Ginyu. Okay, one of these dang orcs has a gold purse that I need, and the other one has a sword I'm supposed to get back. So I'm a little frustrated they're all coming up empty-handed.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Queen Purse one isn't too far away from where you picked up the quest, in that Dead Orc Glade.
I have successfully burgled. They must be getting ready to roast this dwarf for dinner.
Were you here to get me out of this cage?
I got crazy mad ninja skills. That's what good I am, dwarf. Defeat more orcs. At least I didn't walk all the way away from the camp this time. I failed to burgle. I failed to burgle.
Isn't there a rule when you fail to burgle 10 times in a row, you have to do it?
I forgot what the rule is. It changes every time.
If you fail to burgle 10 times in a row, you have to wash everybody's tracksuits in the kin. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
We're starting to think there is no figurine. I just blasted that guy with a throwing knife just because I could.
Did it tickle him?
Just barely. Did not tickle him much. I failed to burgle. Okay, return back to the dwarf. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this dude just because dead archers make me happy.
What could you get from burgling? Bigger?
It varies. At low levels, you just get junk, but when you get to the mid to upper levels, you'll start pulling healing potions and power potions fairly regularly. One of the favorite things I'm getting right now as I burgle are the jade gems. They're just loot, but if you get a pile of them, they add up pretty quick. I got 25 of them here worth 130 silver. Or no, I've got 6 of them worth 130 silver. Excuse me, they're worth about 20 or 25 silver pieces each. So if you get a stack of them, it's a pretty nice payday.
So it's a possibility to get some money at the expense of some inventory space.
Yeah, it's mostly just extra cash. Every once in a great while you'll pull something really useful though. But I mean a great while, like once every 100th successful burgle. The coolest thing I've ever burgled, little Ed Mustafa pulled a writ of special passage. You know, the kind that unlocks swift travel everywhere where you've discovered the destinations already. I pulled one that's good for a full week. I've never seen one of those before, so I thought that was kind of cool. What? You can't see me, I'm invisible. Remember, mad ninja skills. These dudes are bogus.
And as for me, I guess because whenever I find something like there, I'll put it into my biography to, just keep a note of it. I guess the rarest thing I found was an essence reclamation scroll.
That's a pretty handy burgle.
Back in the time when I was burgling, there were no essence reclamation scrolls.
Yep. And I burgled like a universal solvent before, so another thing. But it's like a totally different loot table than the regular loot table, obviously, because it's pulling like those cool rid of special passage things. Although I guess those can drop, but yeah, it's an interesting loot table nonetheless. And at these high levels now, mostly I think I'm pulling like morale and power potions. Sometimes I'll get like a weapon or armor that really isn't that great. Just still the chance for double the loot. I'm fine with that.
It's just something fun to do. There's a burglar deed that it triggers eventually. If you burgle 250 times, whether you succeed or not, it counts towards completing the deed. That sound about right, Zinger?
Yeah, and I think you can do like 25 a day or so.
Normally the limit for the class deeds is 10% of the maximum.
Ah, there you go. That makes sense then.
And I said normally because, and it's just for those that are advanced without doing any harm to an enemy. For example, if you are doing, there is something like doing critical strikes from stealth or something like that. If it's something you need to have non-grey mobs, it might count further. But the reset timer for the deed is different from the one for the quests. So if I remember correctly, it's at midnight where the counter will reset, and for the daily quests it will reset at 3 AM server time. So if you are playing around midnight, you might get a you already did that deed so often you can that day, and then you get past midnight and the display will still show yellow, but it will advance.
And for the record, I just burgled another jade gemstone.
I don't do records. Never.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, never.
Tellurian doesn't keep track of nothing.
Laziest LOTRO player I've ever seen.
Is that something in my direction? If so, I didn't get it.
Yeah, we were just talking about how you never keep track of stuff and how you're just a lazy player. As opposed to being meticulous and obsessive compulsive. We're fine with you either way, though. Yeah, burglars are a little slow starting out. Not as bad as guardians, but they kind of come into their own fairly quickly, and once you get most of the skill trees unlocked, they're pretty fun. I have Little Ed Mustafa traded out for Yellow Line and Red Line. And my burglar on Arkenstone, Mirabella, she's traded out for Red Line and Blue Line. So I've played the different trait trees, and all three of them are pretty effective. Yellow is probably best for group content, but you can solo effectively in Yellow Line as well.
Big Ed, could you just tell me what's the cost in LOTRO points to unlock everything a character can have? For example, in the trade trees, the extras, and the trade slots, etc.
Boy, I hate to hazard a guess. I know the trait slots are 95 LOTRO points apiece. That goes for racial and character as well as for virtues.
Probably 3 class traits and 3 race traits.
Each one of these is 95. There's what, 7 of them there? I think you get 2 of these for free, and then the last 3 are 95 points apiece.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
I was just guessing around 700 points. And if you look at the class at the skill trees, that's really a question I want to know. You have those bonus traits on the left hand side.
Yeah, those are 95 each.
Are they, for example, if you bought the first one, will it be there regardless if you do another trait line?
Yes, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it unlocks it for each
Okay,
trait
so
line.
it's not just let's say tier 1 blue, tier 1 red, tier 1 yellow. So
Yeah, you're just
tier
buying
1.
tier 1. Yep.
Okay. I'm
But
sorry to ask because I have lifetime subscription and I don't see that.
No,
But
no problem.
I cannot tell.
Yeah,
It's a per character thing, so you have to do it for each character.
Yeah, that was something I already figured out, but I didn't know what's the price of that because I never touched it.
And I'm on the opposite end of the scale from Telerian. I am actually a free-to-play, or what they call a premium free player. I've never subscribed to LOTRO. Certainly don't have anything against subscribing. It's a terrific game, and there are plenty of benefits to it. But I just got used to playing the free-to-play version. And if you level up enough characters, you'll always have enough turbine points that you don't really need to... LOTRO points, thank you. No, good point. Like I said, wouldn't be the last time I did that. But you'll build up enough LOTRO points over time that you really don't have to spend any actual money. When I first started, I wanted to check out each of the different character classes and see how they differed. So I started with, I think, 8 or 9 characters on a couple of different servers. And as I leveled them up, I mean, you do the deeds for each character and you pile up the LOTRO points. And then a lot of the stuff that you unlock account-wide so that you don't have to necessarily repay for every single character, if that makes sense. Every single character will help you build up your LOTRO points. You don't necessarily have to spend the points on every single character. I successfully burgled a Rohirric Athelas Essence, aka Healing Potion, aka Morale Potion, aka Green Bottle of Stuff. Yep. I'm falling. Well, the good news is at upper levels, most of this burgled stuff is stackable. So you're not wiping out your loot bags every time you pick a pocket. That tends to be more the case on lower levels.
And crafting materials are also pretty common hurdles.
That's interesting you say that, because that's not my experience at all. What kind of crafting materials do you burgle regularly?
Well, I guess I know. I mean, out of everything, it's still health and morale and power potions that I'll burgle the most. But every now and then I'll burgle like a scholar scroll or a jewel or something like that for a tinker. I was just rolling through the possibilities of burgles
Okay.
to add to what Prince Lane was asking earlier.
That was a little tactical error on my part. I threw riddle on one of the orcs, and I meant to throw sand in the face of the other orc, and I thought I changed targets, but I hadn't, so I basically negated my own riddle. No harm, though. Yeah, Gidrian saved himself a fortune getting the lifetime subscription, as did Telerian, no doubt. Who knew? Actually, I've told the story before, but when I first started LOTRO, I got into the beta as an Asheron's Call subscriber and thought the game was kind of a well-polished snooze fest. I didn't really like it when I first tried it out. So had somebody said, you can have a lifetime subscription for just $200, I would have been like, no thanks. Shame on me. I would have been regretting passing that up.
But to be honest, it's just $200 difference for the company. I bet if you had a lifetime subscription, you wouldn't have bought much as well.
Also true.
If you endured it, you doing it without spending money, could have done with a few points more. Well, I just summed up all my LOTRO points I spent, and I'm currently at more than 100,000 turbine points spent.
They were turbine when you
LOTRO
spin them,
points,
yeah.
LOTRO points, sorry.
That's okay.
I was just curious because we always talk about gaining points, and no one really does take a look at the points spent, since that is something the developers will see. I don't think so. I don't think we would play it on iPad.
No, they have a Mac client available for it, but I think it needs to run on OS X. I don't think it runs on iOS. Yeah, Zanduis, we were just talking earlier about how important it is to stream LOTRO here on Twitch, just because a lot of players who used to play years ago left the game and don't even realize that it's still going strong. Plus, I mean, the content that the developers have added over the last 2 or 3 years, there's really a lot of great new stuff. I mean, lots of new regions, bunches and bunches of new quests, the level caps to 105. Some of the storyline quests and things that they've put in the game are some of the best content overall. I mean, it's not just grown, but it's even gotten better. LOTRO is a better game than when it was first launched, I can promise you that.
And it contains fishing.
And it has good fishing. Could use more fishing.
I wouldn't object to that.
Oh, I did pick up something over Christmas that I was playing around. I used to play years ago. Is it still fun? Yeah, it's a terrific game. I am the AM Psycho. AM Psycho. There we go. Every once in a while, your guys' names show up in a very light-colored font on my. So if you see me like leaning over, huddled like this, squinting at my smaller monitor, it's because I can't read your name.
And it's probably because the name is white on white.
Or it's like yellow or light green or something on white.
That's why I got myself a better Twitch TV and switched to the dark mode. Makes reading easier.
Well, I can switch to dark mode and see if that helps, but then I have trouble reading the dark greens and dark blues. Yeah, that might actually be easier to read. We'll see. We'll give it a try.
When in doubt, just call them you. That's what I do in real life.
Yep.
If you're talking about years ago, when did you leave? What was the last expansion or content you experienced? It's always hard to tell if someone says years ago. We already have the game for nearly 10 years, and 5 years, for some 3 years are some years, and for others 7 years are some years.
Yeah,
That might make a bit of a difference.
10th anniversary is right around the corner. Oh no, he saw me. What server are you all playing on? Smeagol Owl. Or just Smeagol? We'll go with Smeagol. I am playing on Brandywine tonight. I also play on Arkenstone and Crick Hollow regularly. But I have characters on Landerville, Gladden, and Evernight also. So you just never know which server I'm going to pop up on. If I was always on the same server, that would probably be the server everyone else abandoned just to get away from me. So I like to mix it up. We'll take a quick peek at the Argonath here. Boom, so there's that.
Behold, the pillars of the kings. I wish I could explain to you what this means to me.
Is it like you drove all the way to Wally World and the moose out front told you the park was closed? So that's what it feels like to me. Oh, I've got 2 carp as well.
And this is where having the mail anywhere you are comes in use.
That would be tremendously helpful right now. Well, that was handy. I have 2 NPCs within like 150 meters of each other. I knew I had to talk to somebody in the shadow of the Argonath. I didn't realize it was 2 different NPCs.
Argonauts. Long.
This is most interesting. Not at all like the arrows used by the orcs. It is a sad tale.
Oh man. Why does sorting loot have to be so hard? It's not fair.
Well, sorting itself is easy. It's the pondering what to do with the full bag that's the hard part.
Yeah, we'll pitch some unidentified bridles.
We should go to Mansig's encampment to speak with Ingrid.
Now, why is Framrick here, and how come I don't have a quest to talk to Framrick by here?
Because that would be too convenient.
I failed to burgle. Walked right into that stupid sword hound trying to figure out how far away that quest ring was. Well, and as a burglar, I can actually summon a vendor. That's one of my skills, but I have to be at a campfire.
Isn't there some thing available in the shop?
Well, I don't know.
I think you could summon a vendor anytime using LOTRO Prime.
I believe you are right. I think it's like, it lasts for like, I don't know how many, if it lasts for an hour or a couple hours.
It's just like a one use of the burglar. The burglar that could summon any time if he is near a campsite.
Will Ed have to drop fish? That will not happen. Fish are more valuable than gold in Middle Earth.
He'll eventually be dropping them in Olive's mailbox, so.
Yes. That is a real thing. Hello, Mr. Swordhound. I thought I was near the camp, but I am not. I think I'm closer to the Norcrofts than I am to the camp. What is the skill called? Contact Peddler, I believe. I'm sure I've got it equipped. Yep, there it is. Contact Peddler. At campsites, call a peddler to whom you and others may sell items. It's a little bit like the Guardian trait where you can summon a blacksmith, I think.
I think that is something from the crafting. If you're a weaponsmith or armorer smith, you can construct an anvil, and that will allow you to repair and something.
And in the LOTRO store, if you look under buffs and services and under talent services, it shows various things you can buy. They all, it looks like all the items last for 6 hours.
I think Mansig needs to retrain his guards. They don't seem to be very attentive.
So there's one called Repair and Sell Services, and it lasts for 6 hours, and it costs 75 LOTRO points.
Good job.
I think that's the first time I remembered.
Don't shame yourself like me. Remember that they're LOTRO points.
I would have forgotten it, but I was looking at the icon, and since they changed up the icon, it looked different. I'm like, wait, it's different. Wait, it's different. What's it called? LOTRO points. They didn't even need to clockwork orange that into my brain.
Well, they didn't need to, but they did it anyway because it's fun.
That scene still gets me.
Good old Stanley Kubrick.
When it comes to anything eye torture or anything with eyes, I get skeeved off.
We went out into Durango 95 and played Hogs of the Road. And I don't suppose these guys don't have a relic or forge master in camp.
Interesting.
No, but you're probably not that far from Ethangel's.
Nope,
It is my
it's just up around the corner.
horses.
Yeah, there too. Yeah, you can stop in there.
You say the orc died in front of the cave entrance? We don't know what might lie within that cave, but that fleeing orc wanted to get there.
A party of orcs fled from the east wall with the Norcrofts on foot.
I failed to burgle. I'm deeply ashamed. Apparently that's not where I need to look. Really?
It is strange to look out over the plains of my home. And no, I am not welcome there.
Horn is an unusual man. I will keep an eye on him for you.
The last time I traveled south, orcs were gathering on the river bank.
This would be a convenient little path if it weren't for all the dang dorks. Yeah, I thought I was near town. It's Elfingles.
Will you aid the horse lords?
I will aid the horse lords. Thank you for asking, though, and just not taking it for granted. Oops, now I'm full. Thanks for the stuff, Zinger.
Yep.
I don't remember if there's vault services in this town.
There is not, as far as I know.
I can craft and sell stuff.
You'd have to go back to Harwick, I guess, would be the closest for you. Unless you have a, a port somewhere that you can port right back.
Best we may.
I'm actually tied to Harwick.
Hey, Ninth Pond.
Hey, Ninth Pawn, how's it going? I always have a bad habit of hanging on to healing potions for too long. Not selling morale potions that are below level for me.
I hear you. Yeah, at that point, then I try to just open up the kin list and send the potions off to the nearest level person.
Some people do that with fishing trophies.
You don't say.
What? No way.
Who would ever get rid of a fishing trophy? That doesn't even sound right.
No.
I would try to hang on to every fishing trophy I could.
Yeah, speaking of, I think I still had level 58 health and morale potions on me. I gotta send some as well.
Ah,
How's it going, Big Ed?
good, Knights. Thanks for popping in.
Aid is welcome.
Yeah, I figured I would.
Howdy, howdy.
Hi, Zinger. How's it going?
Good in yourself?
Can't complain.
Have you tamed your schedule yet, your work schedule?
Nah, I'm still working on it. But I am getting to see more and more streams, so I do like the changes I've made so far.
Cool.
And remember, boys and girls, do your task turn-ins every day, because they're good for you.
My main character, I don't do them.
Why would you not do task turn-ins? That's just crazy talk.
Yeah, but for what?
For
I don't need XP, I don't need reputation.
what about
I don't
item
need
experience or mounted combat experience?
Yeah, but that's so fast. Just do 2 quests and you're done.
Plus, you got to get the hotshot deed done and get all the cosmetic cloaks.
Yeah, I have them all. I am at 500 done tasks. But just on my main. Most of the time just sell the items because it's more money.
That's true.
Some of my alts are just don't have the capability to do more than 11 tasks a day. So they are. I have most of the time I could do all those eats a day and still have a surplus of items. So it's not that necessary that I do that, but it's true. You should do them.
It was a lot of work just to keep my available pack space at 1 slot. One could even say annoying.
And at Deathman, for me, it's really, I did the deed, I have the cloak, and
I need your help.
I have 500 tasks done, and I don't need reputation anywhere, so I might skip it. But it's not for everyone. Not every of my character has is finished with reputation indeed.
Turning in tasks, Valerian, is like drinking a Coke Zero. When you get done, you just need to turn right around and crack open another one and keep chugging them.
Yeah, but I do keep track of those items.
I know.
could use, and most of the time I just see, oh, this item could be used by that person, and then send a bunch of items through the mail. They love to have some work carrying around 50 pieces of broken spears or something like that. I always see the faces on the postmasters when I send them. Something like, you did.
This is where the Norcrofts, the Wold, and the East Wall all meet up. And this is kind of a dumb trick if you haven't seen a burglar on a war steed before. One of the tricks I have is stratagem. It makes me look like an orc so I can ride past enemies while I'm on horseback.
Even if you're a small orc.
Yeah, they just figure I'm a goblin probably. But if you are in that stratagem is active and you attack something, it normally boosts your damage for most of your war steed traits. Or war steed attacks, rather. Hi, fellow orcs. I'm just one of you riding across the east wall. Have a nice day. Except for you, we're going to attack you because you're a big stupid orc. Nice. Did I one-shot him? I think I just one-shot him. That was okay. Again, you probably won't have similar results because I'm just super badass. So don't try this at home, kids.
You have urgent business within Rohan?
This is being done by a professional.
Exactly. So I'm giving up vitality for a critical rating. I think I'd rather have the vitality.
Some of my men are returning to the wall. You're welcome to go.
If we are to cross the plains of Rohan with any speed, we will need war steeds of our own.
Sorry for everybody who just got their eardrums blown out. The hazard of cutscenes.
You have need of war steeds. Perhaps I can help you. You will need war steeds for yourself and your companions.
A good cure for blown eardrums is delicious cold Coke Zero.
That's true. I often like to just soak my ears with cold Coke Zero, and all you hear is a pleasant fizzing sound.
Yeah, the carbonation does wonders for the ear canal.
Exactly. See, the way you come here on landscape is normally from the Great River across to the Wold, but if you do it by epic storyline, you come here from is it straight away from Lothlorien?
The Epic Book 7, which will lead you to Rohan, will start in Ferroscaladon, if I remember correctly, and will get about, will pass the Great River.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do some quests in Great River, and will from there get you to the east one, following the Fellowship. I could get into detail a bit more, but I didn't want to spoil something.
Yep, no problem. I did all of Dunland and all of the Great River on this character. I did Great River first, and then when I got done with Dunland, the last storyline quest sent me back to the Great River. So it was like, it was pretty easy to run through the last of it, though.
You just couldn't get enough of that Limnite Gorge, yo.
You got that right.
I tend to follow the epic quest line and do all quests.
Oh no, that's just crazy talk.
Yeah, it's not
People do not often fight
that
from horseback.
with that many
The
quests
horses of
if
Rohan
you
are renowned for their
if you
loyalty,
did it
strength, and speed.
all the time.
The steeds are of good breeding and should serve us well.
Obviously, it sounds really much if you are at the beginning of the game. But take into consideration that I'm around here for 9 years, and nearly every expansion I got was on level at that time, and it wasn't that much of a problem to do those few quests.
I suppose at the end of the day, that's what separates LOTRO from the rest of the pack. The storytelling is just wildly better than most any other MMO.
Floodwind has sent urgent.
It's even better than Hello Kitty Online.
Floodwind falls.
Oh, that's some high praise right there.
No, that's right.
Troubles at Floodwind.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
The writers for
We were dispatched by Lord Aomer to harry the orcs roving the plains of the Mark. But what we discovered in the Brown Lands was truly terrifying. Now we ride through the Easterland, on our way to Erebus, warning the rees of the Easterling horde marching upon them.
Thank you for your help.
Our mission is dire.
You are welcome for my help.
Serve you with the Rohirrim.
You have done well.
Our mission is dire. What business have you with the Rohirrim? Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
I'm stuffed completely full again already. Like Zinger was saying, Harwick actually does have all the services. There's an auction house and vault keeper and pretty much anything you need except for crafting guilds.
We must turn to the offensive. We cannot wait for the darkness to fade.
Find people of Wildemore.
Rally.
Do you have need of our assistance?
I do have need of your assistance. Please buy my junk. I think the sparkling dust pile is junk. Level 3 essence is junk. I'm never going to use these dumb things. Snapped wings are useless. Icky filth must be useless. The Harwick Savings and Loan.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
Telerian, did you need a fishing trophy? I've got a couple to spare.
It's a trap.
No.
And if he runs out, he always knows how to get more.
That's a true story. If you can't trust a burglar, who can you trust? Oh, for the love of everything holy, don't make me actually have to craft on stream.
Yeah, I wonder with them changing up the hooks and everything. It sounds like you can kind of like move hooks so they're very close to one another, so you can kind of combine items. I wonder if you'll be able to like kind of artificially combine some of the trophies together to kind of make your own little plex.
That could be handy.
To my understanding, it's just you still have the hooks, but you could arrange them a bit so that you can move an item a bit off the hook, let's say, but it's still hooked to that hook. How many hooks do we have? So it's just the number will not change, just the possible placing.
Uh-huh. So yeah, so I meant like, if you have a wall somewhere that has 3 wall spaces that are too far from one another, if you'll be able to shift,
But it's a nice idea to combine some things.
Yeah.
For example, 2 trophies, combine them so that what's a wall trophy that some on that might have antlers or something like that. If you combine it with the right other trophy, and just a thought.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I played as, like, the Rift, the MMO Rift, like, has a pretty open-ended, kind of hook system. I mean, there's not really any hooks. It's just you can place items and kind of move them around on an axis, and that's kind of what made me think of like what they're doing. They're kind of like playing with letting you play with the different axi. I don't know plurals,
Yeah,
and letting you make some cool custom layout. You can make like a robot probably or something like that. I don't know.
yeah, I know of. I played Dark Ages Camelot before, and there you had something like you could place 60 items, no matter where, no matter what. So, for example, you could place 60 wall trophies, um,
Ah.
but then no other. Or floor trophies, and you could just place them where you want. For example,
Yeah.
I did something like I used bookshelves as a separator in the room. I just built 5 or 6 and to have some more privacy.
Sounds cool.
But that's up to everyone what they want to do with them.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing like what people come up with if it goes out to live as as what they're seem to be working on.
Yeah, it's fascinating that that many that there are some changes they said they could never do, and now we have them.
Yep. Because wasn't also just the addition of more hook, like playing around with housing as a whole, like when they did before, when they added kind of more indoor housing slots, wasn't that kind of another change that they said, like, we're not sure we'll be able to do. We're not sure if it's possible.
I'm not saying they it's a difference for me. It's a difference between that is not possible and that's not our top priority, and we don't know if it's possible at all.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
And for example, I think if it would be easy to change the outer hooks on the outside of the house, they in the patch notes for 19.3 they said they tried to do that, but it conflicted with some other things. So they will have another look at that, and it might still not be possible. It's okay. For example, we as players, we just say, oh, please add some more inventory space. That can't be too difficult to add a number. Yeah, from the player perspective, it's quite okay. But the developers have to take into consideration what will happen. For example, if you someone said, and I'm not quite sure, for every identified legendary item will have an impact on switching skill trees, which doesn't make any sense at the first sight. Because what do items have to do with trade trees? But it might be that any item that is identified has to be checked against the current skill configuration, and that might take some time. And if you add, let's say, just double the number of inventory spaces, then there could be 100 unidentified items, and that might cause some crash. And that's something the developers have to take into consideration, while we were just saying, oh, just add more, it's just, it isn't a problem. Yeah, but the developers have to take into account that there might occur some problems. And from that point of view, it's totally okay if they say, no, that is something that will not happen. It might be working for 95% of the people, but the 5% will be annoyed.
Wow, look at all those bag spaces you got there, Ed.
I know, I got a whole row opened up.
Now the question is, how long will it take to fill it right back up?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Less than that. I'm going to take advantage of my tie here to Harwick, and we may as well pop by the Kin house real quick.
There should be at least 10 spaces open in there in the vault.
Yeah, I saw we had some opened up the other day. That's a good thing.
I keep saying I'm just going to go in and like pull out stuff and just mail it to the person with the matching craft who's been on the most recent, but I haven't yet. I mean, I would say probably at least 50% of our kin are explorers, you know, for a good reason, because they don't really feel like crafting, but just want something to pick up stuff along the way.
This is the 40 Thieves Kin house. I don't know who did all the decorating with the fishing trophies, but I think it looks exceptional. Congratulations to whoever was responsible for that.
Yeah.
What is the 40 Thieves kinship? That sounds awfully familiar.
It's an all burglar kinship on Brandywine.
One day I gotta join that thing, I think.
You should think about it. It's a lot of fun.
But keep in mind, the longer you wait, the harder it will be to get in there.
It's a very exclusive kin. You have to be willing to do things like saying, hey, can I get in your kinship? And, hey, it's me. How about inviting me? And then maybe the magic will happen.
Yeah, it is kind of stringent. You know, it doesn't go out and just automatically put people in the guild. You know, some people aren't willing to do that kind of effort.
When was the last time you played your burglar over here, Ninth Pawn?
Shouldn't have been that long ago. A couple of days ago, I think.
Oh, okay, cool.
I just logged in real quick, but...
5 days.
Oh, wow. Time flies.
Zinger's been kicking ass and taking names, but mostly just taking names. Fuse deep relics. We got some hides. So if you have a burglar in the 40 Thieves, please come by and raid the Kin House chest. We have no problems reloading it for you. No, I guess that's most of it for now.
And all we ask in return is that you send any unneeded produce to the guildmaster, Alapaba.
But sometimes they will return.
All right, now that's pack space. Okay, this is the in-league keg for those of you who haven't seen this before. If you drink from the in-league keg, you become intoxicated and you are randomly teleported elsewhere. So let's see where I end up. At level 83, I don't think it can send me anywhere where I'd be in any possible danger.
If it's an in-league keg, it will just port you in the rear door. So just level 50 cap.
It's a nice way to get sent somewhere for free to do some Slayer deeds too.
Yeah, it might be the fastest way to 4 a kill, even if it takes you 10 tries.
Yeah, but how long does it take you to get back to the kinship house?
Yeah. I get 2 free ports. Now entering Trestle Bridge. Oh, I'm at the bottom of the bridge. Oh, you bastards. That's a long way.
But sometimes, if you're really unlucky, it puts you on top of a mountain with an equally drunk Texan.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. Singer woke up with no pants next to Alapenya on top of the giant's needle. We've tried to get him counseling, but he doesn't want to talk about it. So now I've got an extra row of pack space, and I'll be back in Harwick in a jiff. You know, Ninth Pawn Mrs. Mustafa swears she likes Diet Coke better than Coke Zero. I think she just says that to hurt me. She is a mean mistreater.
I prefer Coke Zero, but I will drink Diet Coke in a pinch.
I'll drink Diet Coke in a pinch. I knew one of those stable masters was real. I need to look at what I actually need for quests. Ride for Harding. Refugee camp outside Harwick. Well, I'm here. I may as well do that right now. Even if I am a wee bit tipsy. Here's another master player tip for those of you who aren't experts at the game. If your player is highly inebriated, you should have your character ride a goat instead of a horse. It will hurt less if he falls off. Wish somebody would come along and tell these people that they don't have to live like a refugee.
Will you aid the Horse Lords? The Rohirrim have need of your services.
Don't have to live like a refugee. You should turn that into a song.
Good thinking.
Alder Harding is convinced that he will die to an Easterling blade. It has become our task to prove that men make their own fates. My companions and I will face the blades of the Easterlings, and we will prove victorious.
Does anybody know of a burglar trait on horseback that allows for ranged attacks? Something in yellow line, perhaps?
I would doubt it. I mean, there's like, I mean, the auto attack is always a ranged thing, as far as I know.
Isn't there one attack that might, it's something like throwing knife or something like that? It's not that comfortable as other ones, other character classes.
There is a pretty cool, another trick that you eventually can pick up that lets you, like, mind control an enemy for a certain, like, 20 seconds or something like that. So it's really cool when using it on a warband, and you use it on the boss of the warband while you're fighting the ads.
And he helps you wipe out all of his buddies.
Yep.
We have overrun an encampment of Kundalar.
What business have you with the Rotary?
I think we'll go for the cash prize on that one. Talk to Harding in the mead hall.
You don't want what's behind door number 2?
No. Well, some of that stuff I pulled out of the east wall is better than the stuff they're offering up here in the wold, so I blame myself.
We keep safe these lands. For how long?
I got new mail. Singer, you sent more stuff.
You're not the only one who has to clear out their packs constantly.
I understand.
Welcome, my friend.
Alright, I think we're riding back to Floodwind.
Our mission is dire.
Stream looking okay? Is the Coke Zero label readable on camera? They're not a sponsor yet, but if I'm ever going to get there, I have to make sure I'm representing well.
No, your healing potions don't have the label.
Yeah, stream's looking fine now.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Good, good, good.
But way to hold the drink up to the stream, and we can only see it says 0.
You realize there are poor kids who live in communist countries like California that have to drink Pepsi, right? You realize how fortunate we are.
In some cases, it's even worse. They have to drink RC Cola.
Yeah, I didn't mind RC. In fact, before Coke Zero came along, I used to seek out Diet Right in preference to Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi. Trivia question, who can tell me the difference between Diet Right and Diet RC Cola?
I don't know either.
Does one use like stevia or something like that?
Nope. Tellurian wins. I don't know either. No, I'm just kidding. Diet RC has caffeine and Diet Right doesn't. Other than that, I think it's the same product.
In other words, one is completely useless.
Exactly.
Easterlings have been testing the Great River, seeking places to ford.
I swear that by all that's holy, I will murder every Easterling I run across.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Exactly. I'm not one of those guys who's going to swear to follow you all the way to Mount Doom and then just basically break off and head to Minas Tirith instead because the chicks are hotter. If I tell you I'm going to murder Easterlings, by God, I'm going to murder Easterlings. Now, if I were an Easterling waiting to be murdered, where would I be waiting? That's the real question.
Turn around.
I'm going the wrong way?
No. I would hide directly behind you. And that's why you should turn around.
Oh, okay.
And keep in mind, everything I say is for the stream 30 to 60 seconds behind.
Then I'm already dead.
Perhaps.
Another one-shot kill. Kinda cool. Should we all start complaining that burglars are OP and see if Standing Stone believes us?
Any class is OP if kill another character and a monster player character single-handed. Or is annoying. Doesn't have to kill anyone, but if it's annoying, it's OP. So every class is annoying. Therefore OP.
Well, they're so OP, I heard a group of players formed a whole kinship around burglars.
That's just crazy talk.
That would never happen. I never saw someone of that. Kinship of burglars, they don't have to be seen.
Man, if we weren't called the 40 Thieves, we would totally be called Silent but Deadly. We're big whiffers, I hear.
Well, I'd also heard that Failed to Burgle would have been an excellent name.
Oh, yes, indeed. That too.
Yeah, I like that one.
guarantee now by the end of next week, someone in chat will make a kin by that name, a burglar kin.
Yeah, because they're jealous of how cool our all burglar kin is. That's going to happen.
Heck, they'll even make it on Brandywine just to spite us.
I'm real
We'll have
worried that could be a
rival
thing,
team.
yeah.
Then we'll have to have like sparring events to see which kins can survive. We'll send out our level 5s that haven't logged in for over 200 days.
What level is your kinship? It's 105. And how many characters? 21.
Yeah.
So you just sum up to.
That horse isn't going to attack me, is it? It looks a little rapey. Little Ed Mustafa is one of my favorite characters. I don't mind seeing him defeated occasionally. I just don't want him violated. It could scar him for life.
But I hear that horse wanted to be your neighbor. Ooh, we could have a max of 1,300 players at the moment.
Gravedigger Z333, how's it going? Thanks for coming by tonight. Sorry if I didn't catch your message there right away. Sorry, Zinger, what were you saying?
We can have 1,226 more burglars than you can.
Cool. Hey, I've got more good news. It looks like the viewer count's gone up since I quit crafting. Who would have thunk?
People just don't know compelling streaming when they see it. That's what that is.
I don't know. Or word could have gotten out that I had been crafting, and that's why people are flooding back in. Like, we're tired of all this questing and adventure. We want to see somebody make Lembus.
They heard you had a whole row of open inventory space and came running in to see how you were going to fill it.
It could be.
Wait a minute. He's going to make 128 copper ingots in a row? Sign me up.
Yeah, instead of writing a guide for crafting, you could just do it like via live stream, and that could be on your official stream.
I could just make it my full-time job. To just stay on Twitch 24/7 crafting in LOTRO.
You could call it creative.
Yeah.
And you could sign each item.
Here's more Easterlings to kill.
you can get more people to play the game by saying, like, you know, you start playing the game and I'll give these items away to you.
That's funny that they designate them specifically as Wold Easterners, or Easterlings. There's no Slayer deed for the Wold ones. Warband Urush. He's solo, so we're going to go try him out. Step 1, Strategery. Disguise yourself as an orc. Okay, that's the one I need to kill.
Grave wants to know how long you've been playing for.
I came back to LOTRO as a regular player. I think it was about a year after it went free to play. What would that be? About 2011?
Either that or 2010, I forget.
Where did Urush go? Why is he stuck clear up on top of that rock in the camp? I need to kill him. Come here.
Isn't he on horseback?
Well, I'm going to get stuck in here and messed up, aren't I?
Free to Play went live on November 2nd, 2010.
Yeah, so I think it was probably maybe a year, maybe 15 months after that. I had mentioned earlier that I'd played during the beta and wasn't overly thrilled with the game in its early form. But once it went free to play, it gave me an excuse to come back and try it again, and I liked what I found. I think the big difference for me was just getting through the first 15 or 20 levels. Once I got out of Brayland and I discovered there was this great big beautiful game world to go explore, it was like, okay, this is pretty cool.
And it so impressed him that he spent massive amounts of money on a monthly subscription. Oh, wait a minute. No, that didn't happen.
Well, my excuse, I always fall back on the fact that I actually calculated what I spent on Asheron's Call subscriptions over the years, and Turbine had easily gotten, there we go, Urush is dead and I will ride on. They got about $1,200 out of me, so I figured if they invested wisely, they really didn't need me to subscribe to LOTRO as well. Not that I wouldn't. If it was subscription only right now, I'd happily pony up the money. I get a lot of enjoyment out of the game month after month.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I've just done it for so long and bought so much of the content that it's just like there's no point in VIP anymore.
No, because at this point you've gotten used to the minimal amount of stuff that you don't have with a VIP, without having a VIP.
Yeah.
Plus, right now you're paying them with advertising time.
True. That's actually the very reason I got into streaming, was to show off LOTRO. I think it's a terrific game. I can't believe more people aren't playing it. And when I talk to my other friends who play video games, they're like, what? There's a Lord of the Rings MMO? It's like, how do you not know this?
Well, I guess it could be worse. Your friends could be like, what is Lord of the Rings?
That's true. And believe me, I have some friends like that. They like the sports ball. Okay, something 100 miles away is still aggroing me there. Good, it stopped. I think it was Hunzi who made me a big batch of these, yeah, bilberry pies. What your gift boxes do you have on New Tunes? That's one of the interesting things. Since I was in the beta, I'm displaying a 9-year frame. Custom character portraits. So I'm considered a 9-year player, even though I didn't really start playing regularly until 2011-ish, late 2011, early 2012. Just because, I mean, my account is that old.
That's the same right here.
Yep. I still get credit for being around during beta, even though I sort of missed the, first 5 years or so of retail. Okay. Little Ed looks like he's feeling much better. We'll see how Felony's doing. Felony looks much healthier too. We'll ride on. Bring the salvaged belongings to Floodwind.
While you were gone, a raiding party of orcs passed near to Floodwind.
That is almost certainly the bow I left to Fiendmoth. This will not take long.
Unreasonable. What if I gave your friend a chance to win it back?
If these are the laws of men, I am grateful to be one of the Galadrim.
Elves don't do finders keepers, I guess.
I think I'm gonna go to bed. You guys have a good night.
That sounds very sensible.
See you, Ninth.
Have a good one,
Have a
Ninth.
good evening. Yep, have a good evening.
Always grateful to Ninth Pawn for popping by and chatting, as well as Zinger and Telerian, of course. And I also wanted to give some shout outs to our friend and kin chief, All Up Enya. Again, All Up Enya is one of the LOTRO stream team members, as is this next shout out. Gussie Moose also stopped by earlier tonight, and she's a fellow LOTRO stream team member. Be sure you're following both of them. They're tons of fun to watch and hang out with. Zinger, anybody else stop by tonight that I'm forgetting? Yeah, Evil Twin.
There you go.
He did pop in, and we want to give Evil Twin a shout out. Thank goodness that's not cap sensitive.
If you go back on your word, you will have me to deal with. It will not take Elsiga long to reach Elthingles.
We ride. Oops. I just clicked on Evil Twin's link to make sure that the shout out address was correct.
Did something
Oh, you
happen
left
to
your chat
Elsiga?
for a second.
What about it?
I don't know. You said oops. I didn't know what you could, other than clicking on this link.
Oh, yeah, well, when I went to click on the link, it pulled it. I meant to do it in a different tab, and it pulled it up in a whole different window. So I was like, I didn't mean to do that, but I guess it's okay. I just had to find my way back here. I know you guys accuse me of ignoring chat for long periods of time, but I really don't try to.
What? No, I never do that.
I try to be a good streamer and pay attention. I just get zoned out and locked into the game.
You kept off Western crafting.
Thank you for coming back to find me. I have already given your elf his birth. I renounce your claim to it. Now that I am here, I need to accomplish my duty.
If you were wondering what the least sought after LOTRO store item on Earth is, it's probably the Tome of Accelerated Warsteed Training. I'm just guessing, but that's got to be right down there. Talk to Horn. Hi, Horn.
Orcs that fled the East Wall
Buy a
made their
round of
pass here to
drinks.
Elfingles.
That's not the tavern. I'd have just swore that was the tavern. This must be the tavern down here.
I've not seen you around here before, stranger.
Don't mind if I do have a sip of that.
I'll have some of that, since you are buying.
If you insist. What was that noise? Did you hear that?
Uh-oh.
Something is happening outside.
They tricked me.
Sounds like trouble.
Elfingles is under attack. Quickly, my friends. We must help with its defense.
Bigger, I will head out for tonight. I will just visit Elo for a short time and then head back.
Take care, Tally.
Yeah, good talking to you, bud.
Bye and have fun.
Thanks, you as well. Have a great weekend. Is it better to use a keyboard or a mouse to use number keys? Personal preference, really. I think you can get around faster using all keyboard. I just like using the mouse look, so I kind of do it half and half. Several streamers I know swear by keyboard only. If you're really trying to maximize maximum damage output, yeah, it's probably the better way to go.
In a game like LOTRO, it's a bit more casual and it's not as important, so just do it. Yeah, like Ed said, do whatever works for you.
I want to make sure that I'm acknowledging that, according to some players, I don't play the right way. While trying to be diplomatic and saying, don't care, get over yourselves. Orc Slayer of the Eastamnet. Now I just have 200 more to kill and I'll be awesome.
Yeah, in general, like, my skills like 1 to, 6 or so, I'll generally use the keyboard, but the rest I'll just click on them, because I don't feel like, having to hit all these weird keys and remembering, and it depends on the class too. Some classes all click more, some classes all keyboard more.
Yeah, I mean, one class that really kind of depends on fast timing is Warden. And I've got my Warden set up so that most of my primary melee skills are all keyboard. And then if I'm doing something ranged or something special, I'll do right-hand mouse. Champion's the same way. My champion's primary melee skills are all on the left-hand side. So even if you want to use the mouse for mouse look, you can set up your most used skills on your left hand, assuming you're right-handed, which I am. Anyway, opposite your mouse hand, we'll call it, I guess, for better definition. And that way, the skills that you need to be click happy on, you can be, and the skills that's not as critical, you don't have to be. I mean, this is pretty typical. You don't see me using the right-hand side over here. I can sit here and go through the primary melee skills pretty quickly, but if I want to do something a little unusual, then I switch over to mouse. In fact, that's one of the things that make burglars relatively powerful in melee, is that they have most of their primary melee skills are very fast acting. There's not a lot of wind up on them, so the sooner you can click through, the better. That's part of what makes trying all the different character classes fun for me, is because each one of them just has a different feel to it and different nuances. The champion is fast in melee, particularly dual wield. But champions require what I call kind of a certain amount of spin up before they get their fervor going and they can launch their big attacks. With the burglar, most of your defeat orcs, blah blah blah. I guess we just have to kill all the orcs. But with a burglar, you can launch most of your power on your initial attacks, and then you kind of slow down after that. So there's a different tempo to combat playing the different characters. Everything's cool down here.
And even different trait lines within different characters.
Yep, also makes a very big difference. Most of my playtime is solo. It's not like I never do group content, but just not as often as I'd like. So I tend to favor redline on almost all of my characters. But learning different trait trees and knowing when to use different trait trees is important. Smeagol says once you get used to using the keyboard only, it becomes very easy. It's about muscle memory. I don't doubt that.
You have my gratitude. Without your help, our losses might have been severe.
So 66.99 in finesse, 66.66 parry in finesse.
You see before you a woman cursed.
My wife's been saying that same thing ever since we got married. You see before you a woman cursed. No response from her. She's back into the napping zone. Travel to Cliving. Deed completed. Deed bestowed. Workslayer Advanced is going to be worth an extra point of honesty. I got 5 more LOTRO points. And my legendary items list is a big sloppy mess, which I'm okay with. On some of the better keyboard players I've seen, Andrew Allstars and Terry Adwin come to mind. If you've ever seen them stream, they'll not only play without the mouse, but they'll turn off their user interface occasionally just to show off.
Our success depends upon our strength. Aid us. Rohirrim have need of your services. Strength, but the servants of the enemy are everywhere. Rohirrim have need of your services.
North along the cliff wall. Hey Lashley, how are you doing? Thanks for coming by. We were just out questing in Rohan. Plus fishing and crafting and chugging Coke Zero. All things I'm known for.
Our mission is dire.
Where can I find militia recruits?
I hope we will find aid in time.
I'm getting out of this town as fast as I can, but you should join the militia. It makes sense. Oh, getting ready to hop on. Cool.
Dunlendings rally to the banner of the White Hand. What business have you with the Rotary?
Quest of the Norcrofts. Earthlyn, hi, how are you doing, hon? Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. When I say burglar, you say power. Burglar. Burglar.
Power.
Get to the chopper. He did not make it. Lashley and Earthlyn are both LOTRO streamers as well. So if you guys aren't subscribing to them already, shame on you. Let's get some official shout outs going here real quick before I resume murdering orcs. So get over to their personal streams and make sure you throw them a follow. The more of us that are streaming LOTRO and the more of us that are watching LOTRO streams, the higher the profile for LOTRO will be on Twitch and the more people who will see the game. So, if I'm ever streaming and you want to stream, don't hesitate for a second. Fire it on up. Don't ever think you're going to hurt my feelings. The more of us that are doing this, the better. And if you're thinking that you might want to stream LOTRO but you're not sure, would highly encourage you to give it a try. When I first started out, I was single monitor, didn't have a camera, didn't even really have a good microphone. Used to frustrate people. They'd watch my stream and try to talk to me in chat, and I wouldn't even see their messages until after I was done streaming. But you know, I got to learn OBS, and I got more familiar with just kind of getting your stream set up, and most importantly, I was showing off the game. And that's really what it's about. You know, Standing Stone Games' advertising budget is about the same as my budget for buying Fabergé eggs at auction. It's a budget of 0, so it helps them if we kind of pitch in and show their game off for them. You know, they've got a LOTRO YouTube channel that's pretty popular. If you miss a stream, by the way, they generally upload the LOTRO streams. Boom. Down goes Fraser. And you can go back and watch any episodes that you missed. I know that the Tolkien Professor and Maiden of Rohan and Bloodborne are all very popular on YouTube as well as here on Twitch. Because, you know, they stream and maybe you're busy, you're out with friends. If you're Zinger, you just fell asleep in my channel because I was talking about sports stuff. You know, all that happens on a regular basis. And you can actually go out to YouTube, just do a search for LOTRO, and you'll find the LOTRO stream. It's the Red Fields. I thought I was just right by a camp. Isn't the merchant camp up here at the top of the hill? Or did I imagine that? I imagined that. Alright, we'll just head on into Cliving then. What the hell was I prattling on about, Zinger? I lost my place.
You were talking about YouTube.
Oh, YouTube, yeah.
From YouTube.
So, you know, LOTRO's got a pretty high profile on YouTube. It's got a pretty high profile on Twitch. And with all of us working together for streaming it and viewing it, it just helps improve LOTRO's public profile. What a great thing that is. Nothing frustrates me more than when I pop onto LOTRO and I see that nobody on Twitch is streaming it. Or I should say when I pop onto Twitch and I see nobody streaming LOTRO. But our goal is to keep at least 1 or 2 or 3 or more streamers 24/7. So please give streaming a try if you've got any interest in it. And thank you for watching. Just having viewers is a big deal. And where's my stable master? There he is. Ooh, I can't wait for dressage later on. That's going to be awesome.
Welcome and well met, my friend.
Although you have to be careful if you ask the wrong NPC where the dressage parlor is, they'll slap you. They'll just think you've got bad thoughts.
You're excited to rebuild Hitbold.
Yeah. Yeah, I had so much fun doing it the first time that it's what I look forward to.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
I don't know. I suppose if I were locked up in a minimum security prison, rebuilding Hitbolt would seem like something fun to do. It's like, I can either go scrub pans in the prison kitchen, or I can go rebuild Hitbolt for the 8th time. I've heard they made it a lot easier than the first time through, though. I did
Yeah,
did it once, and I've never touched it since.
Yeah, it used to be maximum security prison. Now it's just minimum.
No, I'm just assuming if you're in a Supermax, they don't give you video game and internet access.
Not on Wednesdays, which
Well, Wednesdays are important. I think that's when All Up is streaming, so you don't want to miss that. Smeagol would love to stream, but he's in the country and your ISP speeds are low. Yeah. You'd need about, I don't know, 5 megabit upload to really be able to stream effectively. Twitch Max is out at 3,500 kilobits per second upload speed, more or less. But it's nice to have a little bit of room for overhead. Our Australian and New Zealand friends often complain about the woeful internet access they're provided. So that's no fun. And I know Lashley said that he was getting ready to go on. I am getting ready to log off. I've been at this about 3.5 hours. I've had a blast, but I think now that I'm here at Cliving, it's a good place to call it. If I continue waking up Mrs. Mustafa, she will eventually find something solid to hit me with. We don't want that to happen. So let's see what we've got going on. Bloodborne is on, but it looks like he might be playing King of the Kill. That's a super fun game to watch if you haven't seen it before. We've got Dark Lily playing Star Trek Online. We've got Hierophant playing Marvel Heroes. Eldolith, who is also another LOTRO stream team member, is playing Franbo. She said she had a scary game thing and she's doing some giveaways. So we got Bloodborne, we got Eldolith. And I am the only person streaming LOTRO, which makes me hesitant to log off. But
Lashley said he's setting up.
Okay, cool. Well, let's wait for Lashley to get set up, and then we'll not surprise raid him, because he'll be expecting it. But very cool. Yeah, Smeagol, thanks for coming by. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. We did get a few follows. Let me see who else I can thank. Misfits 138. J. Caroline, Tawny Owl followed earlier. My thanks to all of them. And just because I'm a shameless self-promoter, I will go out, throw out the streamer command. If you're not following my personal channel, would love to have you pop by sometime. We tend to play some classic rock music. Every once in a while I might have a awful music stream where we'll just have fun picking out the worst dregs of YouTube music videos we can think of and force one another to listen to them. That can be quite amusing. Worst thing I've heard on stream, I still have to give kudos to Gamer Gramp, who pulled up Weird Al Yankovic's Stuck in the Drive-Thru Lane. That's such an amazingly awful song. I just love it. Mrs. Mustafa hadn't heard it before, so I had her listen to the entire thing last week. And I told her it was basically our conversation 4 nights a week, so she agreed. Now, one of the reasons that cliving is important is there is a vendor here who will let you trade in your Rohan coins, and this is where you can get, this is one of several locations, I should say, where you can get your hands on a Rohirric fishing pole. Everybody needs a Rohirric fishing pole. Although, as stupid as it sounds, I think you have to be kindred. They're not giving these fishing poles out to just anybody. You've got to work for it, my friend. Guard captain. Where's the rep?
No, I think it's just as long as you have the tokens for it.
Is it? Let's check and see.
That's my guess.
Well, if it's not miscellany, I don't know what is miscellaneous.
In terms of the quartermaster, those quartermasters, they tend to be pretty lax and as long as you got the tokens, you can get the thing. Other than like the ports and stuff like that.
Well, we do have some travel skills, but I'm not able to unlock those yet. Yeah, I do have to be kindred to get returned to Snowborn. That's a no-brainer. Although I think I crafted my own Lebathron fishing rod. Nope. Hedath sent that to me. Am I still carrying an extra fishing rod? Or did I finally mail that off to somebody? Looks like I mailed it off. Okay. Bam. I've done it. Cost me 100 tokens. But I now have the most powerful fishing rod currently in game. The Rohirric fishing rod is a +8 to your fishing skill, which basically means absolutely nothing. Near as I can tell, I got Little Ed Mustafa up to like 150 fishing skill, just using the basic rod you get from the hobby instructor. And having a highly well-crafted fishing rod is of absolutely no use. What were you going to say, Zinger?
I'm surprised they never made a Gondorian fishing rod. Unless they did, and I don't know about it.
You'd think somebody would have mentioned it to me.
Maybe, they'll do another tier of crafting and it'll just be all fishing rods. It'll just be a new craft.
They should. That's exactly what would get, wood carving back up and running. I mentioned that was one of the lamest crafting skills.
And just let the woodsmen also make bait and stuff like that. Even though it would be more of a cooking thing, but whatever, it works.
And we're still hoping they'll come out with horse meth for a recipe, so you can get like a mount speed boost.
Horse coffee.
Earthland, that's a horrible story. I feel bad for you. They played Amish Paradise over and over and over until people pledged to... Oh, it was so people would stop requesting it. Okay. I thought they might have done it as a charity fundraiser. The story is one of the big strong points of the game, actually, Shadow. Yep, I might have pulled up early. Yep, I did get a dirty skull. That's exciting. But the main storyline throughout the game is really terrific. Lord of the Rings Online has been crafted in a very detailed manner that stays faithful and true to the book and movie lore. And where the game developers have embellished, it's in addition to or adjacent to the main lore and main storyline. And they've done a really marvelous job of crafting a cohesive game world that doesn't just feel like, a bunch of leveling zones connected together just for the sake of leveling. It's a huge, beautiful game world. There's tons of stuff to see and do. It supports a number of different play styles. Questers, social gamers, raiders, player versus player. Player versus player is not its strong suit, but it does support it. What am I missing, Singer? Help me out.
I wasn't listening to everything, but you're doing just fine.
Okay. Smeagol agrees that the story is the best part. It really is. It's I've got on Arkenstone. What's the elf maiden who got corrupted at Fornost?
Narmalith.
Repeat it.
Narmalith?
Okay. Yeah, I've got her portrait hanging up in my cottage on Arkenstone, and I'm still moved by that storyline. It's so tragic. And
Yeah.
there's just, if you follow the game and you read the quest text and you follow the lore, it's a very, very deep, rich gaming experience from a story standpoint. I mean, unparalleled. I don't know if even Turbine slash Standing Stone Games' previous efforts, Asheron's Call was a high water mark for in-game lore when that came out, and LOTRO completely eclipses Asheron's Call, which was a game I loved and played for many, many years. But there's literally nothing else like Lord of the Rings Online when it comes to story. I mean, I can't think of anything that's close. People talk about Skyrim and Elder Scrolls and how great the storyline is, and it's when I play them, I mean, they just feel like shells compared to this game world. No offense to anybody who loves those games. I love them too and play them, but the pull of the story in Lord of the Rings is in a class by itself. There's just no other way to put it.
Yeah, and hopefully Standing Stone Games can continue to work with story-driven games, because they have DDO, which is also a lore kind of based series.
Hi, Arcast. Welcome. You caught me just getting ready to log off. We're waiting for...
Hey, Lashley is up, by the way.
Lashley's up. We were waiting for Lashley to get up and running so we could pop over and say hi, which we're going to do right now. But before we do that, we'll give a quick shout out to Arcast. And I apologize if this isn't completely accurate. I got the impression Arcast is also a LOTRO streamer, and I don't believe you've been streaming LOTRO a whole lot, or not for a long time anyway. You've just recently started, is what I mean. But we'll give you an official shout out again here on LOTRO stream, so that if you guys haven't seen Arcast stream, please feel free to pop by his channel, give him a follow. Like I said, we want to support all the LOTRO streamers as best we can. And on that note, let me... find Lashley's stream. There it is. Oh, cool. All right. Well, that'll give folks a choice then. I already promised Lashley that we were going to give him the host. And I'll go ahead and do that, but I'll probably go ahead and host Arcast on my personal channel. I can host Lashley here from LOTRO stream. So I want to thank everybody who came by and watched tonight. We had great viewer turnout. I think we were up to almost 40 people at one point on a Friday night. That's a pretty good crowd. I appreciate that. It was nice to see so many folks come by that I enjoy their streams as well, and happy to give the shout outs where I can. Again, special thanks to Zinger, to Ninth Pawn, and to Telerian for popping by Discord, saying hi, and just kind of helping things rolling along by chatting and helping answer questions and keeping me from nodding off here in my chair. So everybody have a great weekend. I'm sure I'll see you again very soon, if not in my channel, then in yours. And just take care. Let's go see what Lashley's up to, and be sure to check out Arcast here in a few minutes. And thanks for coming by.